Hey guys, I'm here with Philippe the calf. Now Philippe here doesn't believe in social distancing. In fact, I'm outside of the fence because he likes to stand on your foot and hold you down until he can finish his bottle. But what we're really here to do today is talk about what we do when we get to a fence and there's no dirt and we need a post hole. We've got some options, and let's take a look at some of the things that we've done in the past. Now, I had to borrow some of this video from my neighbor's fence line, but here's some rock gaybons that he put in as corner posts. And he's got a gate stretch between them, and he's got the wires on the fence lines tied up to them, and it works out okay. It's not as good as putting a railroad tie or a heavy post in there and stretching to that, but you don't always get to do what you want. The problem with all of these alternative methods is he's probably got at least an entire day into that one corner. Now, for years, we used to build these. And my neighbor actually built this in our fence line between us. And he did a good job. They're all built out of used materials, old fence posts that were probably there already. And they work out okay. But again, they're fairly time consuming. They do have a tendency to pull apart over time. And I'm sure that over the years, we'll probably be back to building some of these on occasion when other methods aren't available. These rock cribs work out okay. Right here, he built this one so that he could get down over that rock pile. And they're great for the dog because they're usually full of rabbits, and she likes that. Now, my dad, he was pretty big on these barrels, and for years he had us putting these all over the place. And usually they work out pretty well. I'm going to say that these were put in the late 1970s, so we're looking at 40 plus years, and you sure can't complain about that. But we've had them in other places where after a few years they'd start to lean over, and the farther they lean, the heavier they get, and eventually they fall over, and when they do, they take out a fair amount of fence, and then you're back there for quite a while putting them back together. Now, I have a neighbor who likes to build fence for fun and profit, and I ran into him one day and asked him if he could come help me make some holes. Well, he brought his rock drill over and went to making holes for me, and this is unquestionably the way to do it if you possibly can. And with him close by, we're going to be using him a lot more in the future. Now, these things are loud, and there's junk blowing out of that hole all the time, and they're a lot of work to run. But I was timing him, and on an average, it was just over 4 minutes from when he turned on that drill until he had a pretty nice hole in the ground. I'm thinking if a guy really worked at it, he could probably make 10 holes an hour. Maybe a little bit faster if you had a little bit of help. But it really makes a nice hole, and once you drop a post in there, it's not going anywhere. Okay guys, so this is what the actual bit and bar look like for one of these rock drills. They got this shaft here with a hole down the center of it so the air can go through. Then it's got a quick attach deal on the end to go into the drill itself. And then we've got this bit that just screws on the end. This is a brand new head. I think this is a 2 3/8, and I bought it to put in pipe. You can put a 2-inch pipe in that hole, and so like if you're holding up corral panels or you need to make a stretch post at the end of the fence, you can put in something that's really solid with that. But it's got these holes in the end where let the air blow through there, and that's what evacuates the rock. Got little carbide bits in here that really hard. They just turn real slow and then just pound on the rock and pulverize it, and that air coming out blows all the material out. Makes you a real nice, neat hole. This is the finished hole. I think this was probably close to 2 inches in diameter. I always used an 1.5 bit, but he prefers this slightly larger one. And sometimes it will fracture the rock around the hole enough so that you can kind of tap the T-post in. And sometimes that didn't work out, but we'd go ahead and drive them in. If the plate came off, you'd just take and pound some rocks in beside it, just some little rocks, push them in there, and those posts are nice and tight. They're not going anywhere, ever. So here's a quick look at the finished product. This fence was basically laying on the ground when we got there in the morning. And I got the T-posts in. I came back later and tied everything on. You know, you can see it standing up there nice and straight and tall, and it's solid. It's not going anywhere. Should last for years and years. All right, friends, that's it for today. We still have a contest running till the end of the month. I'll leave a link in the description. If you're interested in entering, just go there, watch the video, and it'll explain what you need to do. You can win some nice handmade soap that my wife made right here on the farm. And in the meantime, I'll just leave you with some cows crossing the road. Since this was the first time out this year, I figured there'd be lots of heels kicking in the air and lots of cow noises, so I set up the drone to see if I could catch some of it. And you know, they just sauntered their way across the road, walked inside the gate, and stood there for 3 hours. Who can outguess the bovine? God bless everybody. Stay well. Catch you next time.